What is up, everybody? ZMT Sports back.
It's not dead.
After a technical 1 week hiatus where me and Mike threw some hands at each other, figured things out, and now we won't miss another week because we've gotten the situation under control.
We're busy people. We don't get paid for this yet. So if you want to start paying us, maybe we'll take it more fucking seriously. But until then.
Exactly. And we'll be posting everything from last week that we forgot to post along with this week. We'll trickle it in. But a new format for our podcast that I forgot to mention, I think the last 2 weeks that we've done it, we are nixing the fantasy portion of this post because we feel like we could just post it on Twitter and people can see what we think and it works. And you can hit us up like people do still, like start this guy and we'll answer.
Saves us a lot more time too.
Yeah, and we can talk about other things in our first segment rather than saving up time for,
Sure. We still have the best segment around, though. ZMT Bets will always stick around.
ZMT Bets, 6-1 last week, people.
Yes, sir. 6-2.
Still
very good. Still very good. Because the week prior, because we haven't posted anything in 2 weeks. Well, my fault, but we haven't posted anything in 2 weeks. But we went like 2-6, I think, 2 weeks ago. So we bounced back. We had a flip around week, which is good. Tom.
Yeah. Let's get it going, right?
Yeah, let's get going. Before we get into the next segment, though, I want to give a shout out to you. I want to give a shout out to the Rangers because they are. They are. I will say right now, they are the best team in hockey right now. No matter how much they piss me off, I just wanted to point that out now so people don't think I'm a fucking idiot.
I appreciate that, and they have a big game tonight against Avalanche.
Trying
for
to win
8 in a row. I don't know. Adam Huska, rookie goaltender, making his debut. Avalanche can score on anybody, so should be interesting.
I'm gonna give out a quick ZMT bet right now. Make a parlay of the tri-state area. Devils in their black unis for the first time. They're gonna beat the Flyers tonight, and give me the Rangers to upset the Avalanche at home. Make it 9 in a row. Little parlay action.
8 in a row. All right. Maybe I'll put that in. I'll dabble that in.
A little trickle. All right, Tom. Let's get to the next segment.
Yes, sir. ZMT Sports back. Local landscape.
Back.
Mike has had about almost a week to digest a solid Cowboys W last Thursday. And I call it solid because they got a lot of guys back that were rusty and they just executed, and they won a football game. You can only play who you play on your schedule.
A win's a win.
A win is a win. So take the floor and explain to me what your feelings are heading into this week against the football team.
Yeah, big division matchup, especially because everyone on the media and everything like that is like, oh, the NFC East is up for grabs. Fuck no, it's not. Shut the fuck up.
That's the Mikey D I love.
Yeah, it's because it's just getting ridiculous there. Stephen A. Smith can suck my cock. But let's just I want to talk about the Thursday night game real quick. I mean, usually I have the Mike Dud 3 takeaways. Just gonna roll through it like I did last time we did this. I'm not going to take it away from the segment. I know that I was very into that. I had all the stats. I'm just going to go with my feelings from now on because
it's just fun that way.
It's just fun that way. It's quicker that way. And but if I had to make a first big point of the Mike Dud 3 Cowboy takeaways, it is like, what is going on with this offense? And I know you said, we didn't have CD Lamb, we didn't have Amari Cooper. The offensive line was getting things together until obviously Thursday. I think generally they'll get it back together. Obviously, once they had 10 days of practice now with the main offense, everyone's back. They're going to look a lot different this week. I think they're going to get back on track a little bit this week. I think that Dak's injury and him coming back, he hasn't looked exactly the same. He's still doing his thing. He's, it's debatable, but he just doesn't look the same. And I do generally agree with people when they say that. But to say that he's playing bad is also stupid because he's not playing bad, but I don't think he's playing up to the par that he can play. So that's my point there. Amari Cooper got his rep count. CD Lamb got his rep count last week. Offensive line looks like they're going to figure out a little bit. I think they need to put Connor Williams back at left guard. I think they need to make Leo Collins the starting tackle. Obviously, you got Tyron Smith back. They need to go back to their original starting 5 that they had weeks 1 through 7 in order for that offensive line to gel. Kellen Moore concerning me a little bit. To an extent because his play calling went from so good to like so conservative. I don't get it. And then also to the fact where, you're having Zeke have more reps than Tony Pollard when Zeke is hurt. Sit Zeke. You have a great backup in Tony Pollard. let Tony Pollard get the reps and let him keep doing what he's doing.
I think Zeke's like almost fully healthy now, though, right?
Yeah. I think so too. But still, having him play through injury when you know that Tony Pollard is fully healthy, and then obviously he was one who had a big touchdown on Thursday night. I think you should just stick. You have the division lead. You're playing against a team that's not that good. Let Tony Pollard get starting reps. You have good backups there and there. Number two. I am so proud, like I say every week, and obviously the defense is. I mean, besides against the Broncos, which is very hard to say for any Cowboys defense over the last decade. They've honestly played extremely well, and it's all because of the leadership of Dan Quinn. It's all because of the leadership of Micah Parsons on that defense. And I'm going to say it now: that motherfucker should be a defensive player of the year contender, not just defensive rookie of the year. And if you don't think so, you're just a hater, because that guy is. The momentum that he changes on his defense is insane. He is a presence. He is completely a game changer. And another great thing is DeMarcus Lawrence came back on Thursday. He played pretty damn well. He had a couple of added passes. He had a couple of tackles. He was on a rep count, and he still looked pretty damn good for missing almost the whole season. We're gonna get Gallimore back in the interior. Randy Gregory is going to be coming back this weekend, so our defense is looking finally full strength again, which is just kind of scary if you think about it, because they've been holding the helm without some of their main guys, and they're still playing really well defensively. And I think you were just going to say it. We'll hear about it later, what you have to say. But I think the Washington football team hasn't played a really gritty defense as of lately. And I think they're, we'll get into when we talk about the picks, but I think they're going to be Taylor Heineke, and then we're going to have a little eye-opening session. And then last but not least, if you win this weekend, I think the division is locked. I mean, I think the division is locked anyway, but if you certainly win this weekend, the division is locked. So I think that is all I got to say about the Cowboys right now. I'm confident. I think they will get into it, but I think they're going to win on Sunday for sure. Yeah, that's all I got to say. What do you have to say about your Jets?
Well, actually, I just wanted to talk a little bit, maybe even ask you a couple questions about Dallas Cowboys. No. I don't even want to talk about the Giants in this podcast. If you're okay with that, I don't even want to talk about them.
It sucks. I mean, if you want to just throw like a little something in there, I
will. Maybe when I talk about the Jets, yeah, I'll throw it in. But my thing about the Cowboys is, I always like doing this because you're so passionate. We're both very passionate about our teams, so it's always good like hearing each other's perspectives after we talk about our own teams. For sure. And I guess for me, it's like I agree 100% of everything that you said, and I think that part of when you started talking about Kellen Moore, I agreed with you. And I think I just have a reason for it that might, I want to see if you agree with it, is he probably was more conservative because he didn't have to pull out all the stops to beat the teams that the Cowboys have played on their schedule the last couple of weeks. They weren't playing the Buccaneers. They weren't playing the Cardinals. They weren't paying. So, yeah, no, is that a reason to dumb down your playbook and be less aggressive and make stupid play calls? No, but it also, maybe there's some risk behind those plays, and he knows it, and the risks don't need to be taken against the New Orleans Saints with Taysom Hill playing quarterback. So let's not draw up a play or a game plan that's going to put more risk on our team, right?
Makes sense.
Give the Saints a chance to be in that game. Let's just control it. Let's be more conservative, control that clock, and make sure that if we execute what this game plan is, then the Saints don't stand a chance. And I feel that's exactly what happened. The Cowboys pulled away, and it was just like, all right, they won this game. I don't think there was a minute on Thursday that you really were like, really? Like, is this really happening? Maybe I think the Saints tied at 7-7. But after that, it was
defensive.
Just
the first Saints drive or the second Saints drive, they had a defensive breakdown, like a blown coverage that led to Taysom Hill, like easy touchdown to whoever the fuck. I didn't even know any fucking receivers on the Saints. But I understand what you're saying, and I totally get that. But it just looked like, despite if you dumb down the play calls, so you don't have to. You don't have to pull all the stops against a team like the Saints, because obviously they didn't, because they, despite how broken,
also working some guys in too.
Yeah, that too. I'm just saying, but despite like how broken the offense looked, because I'm going to keep saying that because it's true that the offense looks a little broken.
Looks a little stinky right now.
As I'm saying, it looks so stinky. Like the offensive line just don't look right. The running game that was top 5 in the league weeks 1 through 8 is just non-existent. Like, just not there. And the thing it's dumbed down, because if you look at what Kellen Moore's doing, just running up the middle, fucking on first and second down, if you go outside, You see what
plays
happened
out there. Yeah.
Tony Pollard, the one HB toss, that simple Madden playbook that they ran, Tony Pollard ran for a 40-yard touchdown. So
That's
like,
true.
why you keep running up the middle if you know your offensive line isn't perfect? If you know that, I don't know. It just looked broken. But keep going. I'm sorry.
No. You're good. You're good. It's your team. I think if I'm a Cowboy fan right now, I think I'm happy that my offense is going through a lull in the middle of the season right now, and they're still winning games.
Yes,
because they can get right back on track towards the end of the year, heading the playoffs full steam. I think the 1 seed might be out of the question now, unless the Cardinals like miraculously.
I like the seed that they're at now. Honestly, I would not mind
because
if they
no, of course not.
I'm saying against if it stays the way it is right now, the Cowboys would have a home game against the fucking Rams, and honestly, the Rams do not impress me at all. So I would kind of like that.
So it'd be good.
But yeah, that's it.
That's all I really had to say about the Cowboys.
Zach Wilson could have thrown 2 picks, huh? Zach Wilson could have thrown 2 picks, huh?
Speaking of, I have my takeaways for the game, and I wanted to start off with the quarterback because before the game, we're at the tailgate, right, with our normal crew, Jets home game, and I'm not ripping Zach Wilson. All right, I guess I'm ripping Zach Wilson. I'm saying that he sucks, that I just don't like how he plays. He looks weird I don't like, there's something about him playing the quarterback position that makes me as a fan uncomfortable, and I don't like it. Like it's when I watched Sam Darnold play, I was just like, this dude could be an NFL quarterback. Even when I watched Geno Smith, I'm like, he kind of shows some things where like he could be an NFL quarterback. For some reason with Zach Wilson, I feel like I'm watching a college quarterback still.
Yes, you definitely see shades of that. Yes.
I don't know. I'm just like, oh, like there's something about it. And then he came out absolutely slinging it. Absolutely slinging it.
Great first half.
11 for 12, like 180 yards and 3 total touchdowns in the first 3 drives. That's probably out of 3 drives. And I know I'm not trying to say he's better than Mac Jones. But that stretch of 3 drives, 3 consecutive drives from a rookie quarterback to open up a game was probably the best we saw all year out of any of those quarterbacks. And that's just a fact. But that leads me to my second point, and that this defense sucks.
Yes.
How do you let Gardner Minshew and the Philadelphia Eagles, who scored, 6 points against the Giants the week before in that same stadium, with their actual starting quarterback, score on 9 straight possessions
with will?
9. They were converting 3rd and 19s, 3rd and 12s, 3rd and 15s. I mean, without a doubt, Gardner Minshew was sitting back there, and I have to say this: I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I was sitting pretty close to the sideline, and I was sitting pretty close to the field for this game. Gardner Minshew is small. He's under 6 foot. That dude, I'm telling you, he is so tiny.
5'10", yeah.
He is so tiny playing quarterback, and he just throws the ball up sometimes and just floats it. And there was this guy's wide open. So that was frustrating to me because this was shaping out to be Zach Wilson's best game, right? And you were watching it because you hate the Eagles. You wanted the Eagles to lose. This was shaping out to be Zach Wilson's breakout game as a quarterback. I mean, that crazy 31 for 34 in a shootout, 350 yards, it was shaping out to be that because he was hitting guys open all over the field. And he was making great throws, tight window throws. Elijah Moore is a dog, one of the best rookie wide receivers in this draft class, probably the second best this year to the last 7 or 8 weeks. And I just felt that way. But the defense literally was so bad.
It was putrid.
The Jets offense had 1 play in the third quarter. I don't even care if you're
and you can't even blame Zach Wilson.
No, because they had 1 drive in the third quarter, right? And it was just a disaster. And I'm so tired of this defense. But they have no talent, and it's finally catching up. They have 1 or 2 guys that have somewhat of NFL talent, and other than that, they're a fucking shit show. And I just come to accept that. So I'm really only focusing on improvements from the offense for these last 5 games. I mean, just offense play well because I know the defense is going to suck no matter who they play. And my third and last take is you were watching the game, and I love that you were watching the game because now when I talk about it, you actually see it and you understand it. I love Robert Saleh's energy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He is a guy that, and I think it was in full effect on Sunday, that the Jets were getting calls against them because they were the Jets, because they were a bad football team. The refs were almost assuming that the Jet player, right, was making the mistake because they're so bad. And CJ Mosley even touched on it. Guys like Jason Peters, guys like, oh my God, what was the other guy's name? Whatever. His name's eluding me right now. We're laughing on the field when the Jets were complaining about a call or Saleh was on the sideline like yelling at the refs. They were laughing. They were laughing at when the Jets were like doing anything because they get no respect. And it's just a mantra in the league. CJ Mosley literally said we need to change what the league thinks about the New York Jets.
Right.
Okay, we play hard. We play harder than teams like the Lions, like the Texans, like on a weekly basis. We have actually more talent than those teams. We're on the up and coming. And people are just failing to realize that. We beat teams like the Titans, the Bengals. We have solid wins this year, and we play competitive most weeks. There's a couple weeks we got blown out, of course, but every team gets blown out. But Saleh, you could tell he's like the guy that can change that culture. He's not letting anything go by. He's not just sitting there like Adam Gase with his arms crossed with a fucking null face when a call goes against him, or Todd Bowles showing no emotion. He's like screaming at these refs. He's halfway down the field. They got a pullback guy like running halfway down the field. I mean, he's literally saying like, you're going to have to look back at this tape and actually look at the mistakes you're making against us because of the jersey we wear. You know, like the center moved. When CJ Mosley jumped and gave the Eagles more points, the center clearly flinched. CJ Mosley is an all-pro player. He's not fucking jumping, okay? Because of Gardner Minshew's hard count, okay? Like it's not going to happen.
That whole drive, that whole fucking drive, it was like, I think there was 3 plays in a row where the ref shafted the fucking Jets, bro.
Yeah, the pass interference.
There was a pass interference. There was that false start that should have been called, and then there was an intentional grounding that they missed blatantly. They said, they said fucking what's his name was around the area.
Gainwell.
Which he was fucking like 15 yards on the field. What are you talking?
I know.
The refs were putrid. You know, that's another thing. Like, obviously, I was watching the game because I hate the Eagles. I was rooting for the Jets, having a teaser, which they lost. But like,
because the refs, really.
I'm just saying, like, just these fucking refs. Like the Eagles should be a better team than the Jets as it is, and then you're having the refs fucking up their ass too. Like come on now. Like,
I know, and it's not necessarily. And I texted the group chat this when you were saying, "Oh my God, these refs are putrid," and the Jets haven't been good in a couple of years, so calls like that don't get me angry to the point where it's like the reason why we're losing games. I'm not going to sit here and say we lost the game because of the refs, because we're not there yet where like a call like that is actually the reason why we lost. But I'm at the point where I'm getting angry because they're making calls because they're just assuming that we're a bad football team, that's what's going to happen. And it won't change until we win games even with the bad calls. And when we start to stack wins together, then we'll start getting the whistle, because the Jets don't get the whistle. It's just a known fact. We don't. And neither do the Cowboys, really. And we had that chart that Jay Roos sent and found of the teams that don't get the whistle and the teams that do. And the Jets and Giants are both bottom 5 in the league and getting the whistle, because the Cowboys are America's team. They're loved to be hate, so they don't get the calls. And the Jets are a shit team, and they're not good enough, and they don't get the calls as well. So it's just that the overall, though, those calls showed me Saleh's energy and how he's here to change the culture. So I still love this coaching staff, and I still think we're on the right track. But other than that, defense sucks. Zach Wilson, I don't know yet. I'm still not a fan. He might not be the guy. I don't know. He still does things that piss me off. But I don't know, man.
Well,
Saints this week. I don't know. All I'm saying, though, is I'd rather be a Jet fan and in a Jet situation than the Giants.
I love that at the end of your Jets take last week. I do. because
it's kind of true.
I mean, if you want to just trickle in the Giants right now, like, oh my God.
Here's the thing. I knew they had Mike Lennon, right?
Yes.
But here's the underlying issue with the Giants that should scare me. And I actually got a lot of flack for that. I had like 4 or 5 Giant fans actually comment up on my story when I said that, saying, ha ha ha, like there's no way I'd rather be a Jets fan or be the Jets and the Giants right now. And I genuinely just asked them why. Because I'll just lay it out simple. Yeah, our quarterback hasn't played well, but at least we have a rookie quarterback that has a chance to be good. You're in QB limbo. Yeah, you could trade for Russell Wilson, but okay. Your offensive line is still one of the worst in the league. They've been trying to fix it for 3 or 4 years. The Jets have a top 15 offensive line already, and they're young. They have one of the best guards. Becton's going to come back. He's one of the best tackles. Okay, their right side. Okay, Levante Duvernay-Tardif, who they traded for the Chiefs, is only 30 years old. He was a top-ranked guard. He played in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Okay, George Fant is one of the best tackles in the league, PFF wise, this year. So our offensive line is light years ahead. Our draft class this year, Tucker, a beast. Elijah Moore, a beast. Michael Carter, a beast. Both Michael Carters, the DB too.
Yep.
The only thing I give the Giants is the defense. But the problem with the Giants defense is they're getting older. The Jets defense is young, and the Jets can add to it.
Yeah, Logan Ryan and Jabril Peppers isn't like it ain't it.
No more. Like, and it's crazy. And if I sat here with you, I know you're a Cowboy fan, so there might be a little bias. And obviously, I'm a Jet fan. There might be a little bias.
I try to be as unbiased to the Giants.
If I went position group by position group, I think there'd be more position groups that I take the Jets over the Giants going forward.
Fully healthy,
quarterback.
Fully healthy, absolutely.
Yeah. Quarterback. No, but all right. So we know Daniel Jones isn't good. He's decent, right? We know he's
I can't pick Zach Wilson over him now.
But I'm talking about like going into the future. They're both lost causes this year.
Like who would I want? Who would I want my franchise like right now? You mean like if I had to open a franchise like this year? Like,
no, my thing is like being a Jet fan versus being a Giant fan going into the future, going into next year.
Like who has more expectations? You mean?
Not even more expectations, just like as a fan, like who could be more excited going into next year based on like the position groups that we have.
Yeah, I just think it's up in the air because obviously.
So quarterback.
Because you both have fucking 2 draft picks within the top 10 this year. So I mean,
true. But all right, so quarterback next.
I'm not going to give an answer.
Probably Daniel Jones. All right, we'll give it to the Giants. Quarterback.
I'll give Daniel Jones. Yeah.
Running back.
I mean, Saquon's so done. He's so good, but his career is over. It's
Michael Carter looks like
Michael Carter's the future.
Upcoming running back.
So I think like I said to you, if I had to make a franchise right now and I needed to pick a guy after everything that's going on with Saquon and his injuries, I gotta take Michael Carter. Yeah, I do. Yeah. It sucks to say. Offensive line is the Jets.
Yes. Wide receiver group.
The Jets, yeah.
Because Kenny Golladay looks like a bust. Corey Davis got hurt. Corey Davis was a better signing than Kenny Golladay. Corey Davis was.
I would take Davis Crowder more over Golladay, Shepard, Slay.
Can't forget Berrios and Mims and
they're young talents too.
But
they're young too. They're young talent. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'd probably take the whole defense of the Giants.
I would take the Giants defense over the Jets.
Every group, maybe our D line over the Giants D line, because really the Giants only have Leonard Williams, and the Jets actually have. Remember, the Jets have like Carl Lawson who's hurt.
That's
both
true.
Boston's Quinnen Williams, John Franklin Myers.
That's true.
Good. Yeah. Linebackers that probably take the Giants, even though CJ Mosley's kind of. I would take CJ Mosley.
I think the whole offense, besides quarterback, I would take the Jets. Yeah.
So it's just little things like that, and you commented the other day to me. You're like, you talk shit about the Giants all the time. I don't talk shit about the Giants. I start to talk shit, and I do things like this when I have a fan, like Giant fans, legitimately think I'm stupid for saying I'd rather be a Jet fan right now than a Giant fan.
Yes, obviously you get to say that, yeah.
But here's the thing. If I went to a Cowboy fan and said I'd rather be a Jet fan than a Giant Cowboy fan, then I would get are you serious? You're stupid. That's retarded.
That's blasphemy.
That's blasphemous. But a Giant fan has no right to have that same reaction towards me.
Oh, yeah, correct. Especially because you guys have the same record over the last 5 years anyway. Like, I totally get what you're saying. Like, it's because we say it all the time. I mean, we've been saying it for a year and a half now on this thing. Obviously that, the Giants are going to get more respect than the Jets because of their brand. It's not because if they're good or not, because they're mediocre as fuck. But I'm not talking about the Giants because they'll somehow win this weekend now. So I'm not gonna.
I know we gotta stop doing that, right?
We gotta stop doing that. But
I guess the last thing I want to talk about before we go into our picks,
correct,
is the Hooded Crusader.
Kenny Guido?
The Hooded Crusader. That
Bill Belichick
is Bill fucking Belichick.
So are you ready to admit that I'm right, that my preseason prediction was 10 times better than yours?
And I was 1,000% wrong. 1,000% wrong, and I should have known better because of who they're.
Let me cut you off for 1 second. Exactly. I was just gonna say, let me cut you off for 1 second. When I made that preseason prediction, yes, I brought in Mac. I just say I brought in Mac Jones about it because he is obviously the perfect guy for the system because It's not even that he's doing much. He just
doesn't have to do anything. That's why he's the perfect guy.
Exactly. So I just want to let you know when I made that pick, it's because of Bill Belichick and the offseason moves that they made, not just because solely of Mac Jones. Because obviously they clearly can win without Mac Jones, as you saw on Sunday or on Monday. So
and they had been winning without Mac Jones. Mac Jones' stats are simply just there to be there because he has to play quarterback.
He just does his job. Yes. I mean, that's all you can ask him. This is what he's doing. I'm not giving him 1,000 times credit for it, but that's what he's doing. And now the Patriots and the Bucs are going to meet in the Super Bowl. I already placed a bet on it. It's going to happen.
All right. Then now you're getting high because here's the thing.
No, because it's rigged. Not because I'm high. Because it's rigged. Yeah, you're telling me they're not going to have a fucking Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady Super Bowl, at least in our lifetime yet. Maybe not this year, but next year.
It's possible, but here's the thing.
It's going to happen.
I don't like their quarterback.
It's going to happen.
So it's hard for me to admit that because
I know that
I don't think he's very good.
But they don't need to win with him.
But in the playoffs, you might need to.
I don't think so. Not with that defense. Not with that.
You run into Los Angeles. I know they beat the Chargers already, but you run into the Chargers again. You run into the Bills again in normal weather. You run into a team like that, or the Titans who get healthy with Derrick Henry. You're not going to be able to do what you just did to the Bills. The reason why they were able to do that is because of the weather. But that was the reason.
But they knew what they were going to do, and they did it at will. Like, don't you realize that?
Yes, I understand that.
Bill Belichick literally said, "We're running the ball 200 times," and they did it.
And but let's be fair. They only did it for like 3 or 4 drives. They didn't do it the whole game because towards the end of the Bills had 3 possessions where they failed in the red zone.
But defense stepped up.
And that's where their defense comes in.
I just when you're done, continue.
No, but that's where their defense steps into this whole
who they remind me of? Do you know who they remind me of? They remind me of the Niners 2 years ago. That's what they remind me of. Do you forget Jimmy Garoppolo threw 7 passes in the NFC Championship game and they won by 30? Do you remember that?
I do.
I'm just saying, it's possible with the Patriots, especially in the AFC. That's a mess. Like they have teams that have 78 wins, yes, but at the same time, that those teams are so inconsistent, and that's why Kyle Moore has $250 on the Colts because they might make a Super Bowl run. But I'm just saying that's what they remind me of. Like I think they can honestly win with Mac Jones under center because of everything else around him. I look at Jimmy Garoppolo 2 years ago.
It's true. Well, that's who I think Mac Jones is. I think Mac Jones is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he is Brady. He is everything Bill Belichick has had under his wing already.
And here's the thing, though.
He's a clone. He's a fucking clone.
Here are factors that you can't fault them for, but also need to be taken into consideration. They're the most healthy team in the NFL.
Correct.
They have had one of the softest strength of schedules in the NFL. They seem to be playing every team at the right time, at the right moment, with even the right weather conditions. So everything is going their way.
Yeah, I agree.
We have not. Agree. The only time, remember, there was about 6 games early in the year where things weren't going 100% their way. They were beating themselves. They were fumbling the ball late. They were doing things like that. They went 2-4. That Patriot team still exists because if everything doesn't go right for them, they can lose. That's where I just think it can happen. I'm at that point now where I think it can happen because that defense is crazy. The run game is one of the best in the NFL, if not the best. And their coach is by far the greatest coach in NFL history. But I keep saying it, and I don't want it to become redundant. I am fully not giving them credit yet.
It's fine.
Until this is now the week. It was going to be the Bills week, but the weather totally threw a wrench in everything that I wanted to happen.
Are they on a bye week this week?
They're on a bye this week, but their next game is against the Indianapolis Colts. And if there's one team in the AFC and the one team left on their schedule that can do exactly what they do,
it's true.
It is the Colts.
Yeah. That's true.
And I'm excited to see the Colts bring their will and the Patriots bring their will. And the Colts are home too.
Their schedule is pretty hard going forward. They got the Colts, they got the Bills again. It's in Foxborough, but
it won't be a fucking craziest windstorm in NFL history.
Yeah, who else do they fucking play? They play the Jags, sucks, and then they end the season with the Dolphins in Miami, which they really do not do good in.
They don't do well there.
So, there's 3 out of 4 there that could be very interesting. We'll see what happens.
It is. But obviously, we got to just assume that they're going to win everyone but the Colt game based on what they've done.
Yeah, out of all the games, I can definitely see them losing the Colt game.
So, if and I'll be the first one to admit I'm wrong because it's easy for me to do that with the Patriots because I'm used to this. I'm used to the Bill Belichick being the reason why the Patriots win. It doesn't bother me. Yeah. But I think Monday helped my case in Mac Jones isn't the reason why the Patriots are winning these games at all. And there hasn't been one game where he's the reason they won. There hasn't been one. And I even went back before we even got on this pad and I looked at the stats and I looked at the plays. There has not been one game where I looked at it and said, Mac Jones is the reason why they won. He doesn't hurt them.
He's just playing the
system. Which is true. Yes. There was about 3 games where he played like dog shit and the defense bailed him out. The Carolina game, the Atlanta game, he didn't play well. And there was another game in there that he didn't play well that they won. But that's neither here or there. I'm just saying he is the greatest coach of all time. That is Bill Belichick. And now I'm actually at the point where I wanted to give you full credit, and then I wanted to say that you were 100% right. I was 100% wrong.
I thought they were going to just sneak into the wild card. I didn't think they'd be a fuking number 1 seed.
I didn't even think they were going to win 7 games because it's a rookie. But I shouldn't. That's where my bias came in. I'll admit when I'm biased. I didn't think Bill Belichick was rookie QB proof. He's never had a rookie QB right off the bat. In his whole career. True. He's always had quarterbacks that are like, the first-time starters, but they're in year 2, they're in year 3. He's never just came out full boat. This is the first NFL action you're going to see. But he knew. He built that team. He honestly built this team for Cam Newton, if you want to be honest.
Yeah,
Shit wide receivers and big offensive line and a crazy run game. Yeah. Then he was just like, why am I going to do this with Cam? Where like
when I have the future, and when I have the
when I could just have Mac Jones hand the ball off 30 times a game and throw 12 times, say, hey, don't turn the ball over, we'll win. And Mac Jones is like, sure, like yes, please run the ball down to the 20-yard line, and then I'll throw a 15-yard touchdown pass and get all the credit. Please do that. Or please, defense, give me the ball in the greatest, the best starting field position in the NFL the whole year. Please give me the best starting field position, please, so I can throw a fucking screen pass that goes 30 yards. I really, really, really need that. And Mac Jones is just benefiting from it. I can't fault them, but if I had, and I'm happy because I did not have to hear at all this week that all these Mac Jones stats and all the reason why he's the best, like he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, blah, blah.
You didn't have to hear that this week.
Relax,
for sure.
I did it. Yeah. But that's all I had to say. Congratulations, Mike. Your preseason hit probably is a game or 2 away from hitting, and mine's already wrong. So, congrats to you on that.
Justin Fields is hurt, though. That's why it's okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. And then you also had Carolina winning over 7 games, which is still possible.
I mean, they have 5, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my one pick this, we'll hear our picks.
They're a game out of a playoff spot, Carolina.
Yeah, but I'm saying you never know. I mean, my third pick was Kevin Stefanski to be coach of the year again, and that ain't happening. The fucking Browns.
This team failed him.
Oh yeah, it's not his fault. It is the team. All right, Tom. Let's just get into our the game picks real quick. The Jets play. Who do they play this week?
The Saints.
Oh yeah, you're right. Is it at New Orleans or is it in New York?
It is home. I will be there.
That makes it a little bit.
I'm going to go.
It's Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill is the worst passing quarterback in the NFL. He is. But I also think that
the run game that
the
they
Jets'
might have.
run defense is absolutely putrid.
And Taysom Hill can run.
And Alvin Kamara's back. So I'm going to go with Saints 27, Jets 17.
The 10-point win.
Yeah. And as for the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys win by about 10 to 14. But I'll go like 31-21 or like 31-17.
You got for the Giants this week? You got
Giants defense is underrated. They're keeping games close. I think they'll cover their spread. I think they'll
10 points. 10 points is a lot. That's
for
a
that
lot
defense,
of points.
especially since they're already out west practicing and stuff. I think, but their quarterback situation.
Same with Mike Glennon playing again.
I'll say they'll lose like a weird score, like 23 to 9. Well, that doesn't mean they cover. 23-13, 23-14. I don't know. Something ugly. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an ugly game too. I mean, I'll just start off with that pick. I think it's going to be a very ugly game too. I think the Chargers win this game. I think it'll be like not a shootout like it was against the Eagles, but we've seen the Chargers like they're the most inconsistent fucking team in this league right now.
They just had their good game.
So exactly. And that's what I'm saying. And then like who knows if the Giants defense will step up this week, back up Mike Glennon or hurt Daniel Jones, whoever's going to be playing quarterback. So I think the Chargers win this game, but I think the Giants definitely cover a 10-point spread. I'll give you 27-20. I'll do that.
Okay.
And then for the Jets Saints has the best rushing defense in the league. But the Jets have the worst rushing defense in the league. It's in New York. It's against Taysom Hill, who fucking stinks.
The Saints do kind of suck on the road.
The Saints do kind of suck on the road. Taysom Hill looks god awful. If Sean Payton had any sense, he would probably start Simeon this week. But I don't think he's going.
Especially because backup quarterbacks killed the Jets.
Exactly. So I think the Jets cover this game. I think they make it kind of close. I don't think they're going to get blown out. I'm sorry. I don't. Maybe I'm going to be wrong because every time I fucking pick, I can tease the Jets by 50 and they'll still fucking lose by 50. But
never bet the Jets.
Yeah, I know. Give me the Saints to win an ugly game. I'm going to say like 17-13, something ugly. 17-13. For the Cowboys, I said before, my takeaways. This is a game they absolutely, if they win, they just run away with this division. I don't think there's any coming back if they win. They could honestly wrap it up this weekend, and I think they need to. 1 o'clock game. Don't wait 2 weeks to get on prime time at Washington and make it interesting because obviously the NFL knows how to set it up that way. Yeah, I think the Cowboys win this game convincingly. I'm going to say it this time, and I want to be right this time because I say every time I say the Cowboys win convincingly, they don't. But like I said, Washington hasn't played anyone great. They're just really hot right now. They need to have a cool down game. The Cowboys need to have a get right game despite winning last week. And I think they get it. I think they get it right this week. I think they win. Crazy. Got the Cowboys score absolutely correct last week.
You did, which is crazy. And I was like, oh my God.
Imagine if we bet that. It would be fucking crazy. I'm gonna go with 34-20. The Cowboys win this football.
Nice. Dope.
So there we had a pretty long segment and ended up talking about the Patriots a lot, which is different.
Which is me venting basically.
But I like it. I like it. Something new. Gotta make it interesting, you know?
Exactly.
So no fantasy segment.
Let's put our money where our mouth is, right?
Exactly. We will go to ZMT Bets. Are you ready, Tom?
Next. Yes,
sir.
ZMT Bets back. Milk money, cash money. Please give me your pick to get the spread and your prop pick for the week. Go.
Yes, sir. 3-1 last week. Something different. The King of 1-3 switched it up. Let's go. Let's have another hot week. Here we go. First, I am traveling to Carolina. Falcons on the road. Carolina stinks. Cam Newton stinks. Give me the Falcons plus 2.5 against the Panthers. Second, Bills. You confused me, man. But you're going against the Super Bowl contender right now, and it's in Tampa Bay. Give me Tom Brady. Give me the GOAT. Give me them. Give me the Bucs minus 3.5 against the Bills. I think the Bills kind of go downhill from here. Lastly, I am going with the Cardinals to cover -2 against the Rams. The Rams had a good game. Everyone thinks they're back. No. The Cardinals are the best team in the NFC right now, and they're going to prove it with a convincing win against the Rams. So running it back, Falcons plus 2.5 against the Panthers, Bucs minus 3.5 against the Bills, and Cardinals -2 against the Rams. And my prop bets for the week, I'm taking a double anytime touchdown score because I don't know if Deebo Samuel's going to be healthy or not. But give me Deebo Samuel and George Kittle score anytime against. Who do the 49ers play? Tom? Who do the 49ers play?
The Bengals.
Against the Bengals. All right, Tom.
What you want to hear next? Okay. Tyrell Smooth picks against the spread and prop pick for the week, coming off a 3-1 week as well. Bouncing back from my 1-3 week. ZMT Bets getting hot for my first pick. I'm headed to that game we were just talking about. I'm headed to Cincinnati, Who Day Nation. I don't care if Joe Burrow is freaking dumb and pinky is swelled up like a freaking balloon. I don't give a crap. Give me the Bengals getting 1.5 at home against the Niners. My second pick, I'm headed to the Meadowlands. I love my Jetsies. I love them with my whole heart. But I'm sorry, I still don't think Zach Wilson's it. He has to prove me something, and I don't think it's this week against the Saints defense. Give me the Saints laying 5 on the road against the Jets. My third pick for the week, I'm heading to the nation's capital. Not really heading to Landover, Maryland, but they're called the Washington football team. Washington, D.C., nation's capital. You know what I'm saying. And I've taken Dak Prescott, the comeback player of the year, and maybe MVP if he just bounces back, which can start this week, and I hope it does, because I am taking the Cowboys laying 4.5 against the WFT Washington football team, running it back. My first pick, I'm headed to Who Day Nation, Bengals, getting 1.5 at home against the Niners. My second pick, the Meadowlands and the Saints laying 5.5 on the road against the Jets. And my last pick, the Cowboys laying 4.5 in the nation's capital, Landover, Maryland, against the Washington football team. My prop bet for the week, Alvin Kamara, best running back, will be coming back against my Jets. Take him anytime touchdown score. Take him as over rushing, as over receiving. I don't care. He's going to kill us. Those are my picks.
Woo! Love it, Tom.
Definitely, I think we might have went over 4 or 5 seconds there.
It's okay.
But it might have been me.
We're good. It was my little delay because I forgot who the fucking 49ers were playing this week. But it happened.
We'll blame it on you.
We'll blame it on
Shocker,
me. We'll
right?
blame it on me. Yeah. So, Tom, I'm going to go work on these graphics I haven't done in 2 weeks.
And I'm going to go put up these episodes now that we don't record while I'm working so I could do it right after.
There we go. We are getting back into the New York groove, baby.
Yes, we are.
Speaking of New York groove, reminder, make sure you put in those bets for tonight. Tri-State area.
Devils
Jets
Rangers.
to beat the Devils Rangers, little parlay action. Just letting you know, the bing bong parlay hit last night. We should have fucking bet it. But yeah, you know how it goes, Tom. Follow us because we are going to be back posting things. Follow us on sports_ZMT on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And yes, this is us.
And we will be putting this stuff back on YouTube. I haven't put up a YouTube video in 2 weeks, but I will do that. TikTok, we will get back into it. Hopefully, maybe we'll see.
Yeah,
but follow us
on Saturday night, maybe.
Ooh, little jazz hands. I like that. But you know how it goes, Tom. Tom, it's good that we convinced each other that
to keep doing this.
Because
we got some possible big interviews coming after this.
As I'm saying, we have a lot of big plans, believe it or not. And people do enjoy listening to us, believe it or not.
People enjoy our picks as well, whether they're ranking them,
believe it,
or they're liking them.
Shout out to Kevin Coleman, shout out to Lenny Gomez. You guys are the most judgmental fucks in the world. But all right, Tom. I will talk to you later.
Yes, sir.